Captain Liam Foster woke to the piercing sound of alarms reverberating through the starship Invictus. The control room was bathed in a harsh red glow, signaling imminent danger. "All hands, battle stations!" he commanded, his voice cutting through the chaos with practiced authority. The Invictus, a marvel of human engineering, was on patrol in the far reaches of space. Its mission, to guard against unknown threats and explore uncharted territories. Today, that mission was suddenly complicated by the appearance of an unidentified fleet on the sensors. "Captain, we're detecting multiple vessels, unknown configuration," reported Lieutenant Harris, his fingers flying over the control panel. The main screen displayed a cluster of alien ships, their sleek designs unlike anything the crew had encountered. Liam's eyes narrowed. "Bring us to alert status." "Dr. Carter, what's your assessment?" Dr. Evelyn Carter, the ship's chief scientist, stepped forward, her expression serious. "Their energy signatures are off the charts, Captain. This isn't just a reconnaissance mission. They're heavily armed." The tension in the room was palpable. "Open a channel," Liam ordered. "Let's see if they're willing to talk." The alien ships loomed larger on the screen, their ominous presence underscoring the stakes. A moment later, the communication system crackled to life, but no voice responded. Instead, a series of complex symbols flashed across the screen, incomprehensible yet clearly a message. "Evelyn, can you decipher this?" Liam asked, his mind racing through possible scenarios. "I'm on it," she replied, her hands moving swiftly over her console. "But it might take some time. We might not have that luxury," he muttered. "Lieutenant, prepare defensive measures. We can't afford to be caught off guard." The crew moved with precision, a testament to their training and experience. Liam watched the screen intently, his mind a flurry of calculations and contingencies. The Invictus had faced threats before, but this felt different. These ships were an unknown quantity, and the lack of communication only heightened the risk. "Captain, they're making a move!" Harris shouted. The alien vessels began to spread out, surrounding the Invictus in a tactical formation. "Brace for impact," Liam ordered. "Prepare to engage." The ship shuddered as the first volley of energy blasts struck. The Invictus's shields held, but the force of the attack was unmistakable. "Return fire," Liam commanded. "Let's show them what we're made of." Turrets activated, sending a barrage of retaliatory fire toward the alien ships. The control room hummed with activity as the crew executed their maneuvers with precision. The Invictus's advanced targeting systems locked onto the enemy vessels, each shot calculated for maximum impact. Evelyn's voice cut through the din. "Captain, I think I've cracked part of their message. It looks like a warning, something about claiming this sector." Liam's jaw tightened. "They picked the wrong ship to threaten. Focus fire on their lead vessel. We need to break their formation." The Invictus responded with lethal efficiency, its weapons finding their marks. One of the alien ships exploded in a brilliant flash, debris scattering into the void. But the battle was far from over. The remaining vessels adjusted their tactics, their attacks growing more coordinated. "Evelyn, any progress on a more comprehensive translation?" Liam asked, his eyes never leaving the screen. "I'm getting there," she replied, frustration tinging her voice. "These symbols are unlike anything in our database. It's almost as if they're a hybrid of several languages. Keep at it. We need to understand their intentions, but not at the cost of our survival," he said. "Harris, status on our shields?" "Shields are holding, but they're taking a beating," Harris replied. "We can't sustain this level of damage for long." Liam nodded, his mind working through options. "Deploy countermeasures. Let's see if we can disrupt their systems." Small pods launched from the Invictus, emitting pulses designed to interfere with the alien ship's electronics. The tactic worked. Several vessels faltered, their attacks momentarily ceasing. It was the opening Liam needed. "Focus all fire on the nearest ship," he ordered. "Let's take them down one by one." As the crew executed his commands, the tide of battle began to turn. The Invictus's superior tactics and technology started to overwhelm the alien fleet. But Liam knew they couldn't let up. One misstep could still prove disastrous. "Evelyn, any luck with a full translation?" he pressed. "Almost there," she replied, her eyes fixed on her screen. "I think I've got it. It's a claim to this sector and a warning to all trespassers." Liam's brow furrowed. "So they're staking a territorial claim. Interesting. But why now, and why here?" Before he could ponder further, the ship shuddered violently. "Captain, we've got multiple breaches on decks 3 and 4, Harris reported, urgency in his voice. "Seal them off and redirect power to those sections," Liam ordered. "And keep firing. We need to finish this." The crew worked in unison, their resolve unshaken despite the escalating danger. Liam's focus remained unwavering. They would prevail, not just because of their technology or firepower, but because of their determination and unity. The Invictus moved gracefully through the asteroid field, its sleek hull reflecting the distant starlight. Captain Liam Foster stood resolute on the bridge, eyes fixed on the strategic display. The alien fleet had regrouped, their movements calculated and deliberate. It was clear that this encounter would not be easily resolved. "Captain, their formation is tightening," reported Lieutenant Harris. "It looks like they're preparing for another assault." "Maintain our current trajectory," Liam instructed, his voice unwavering. "Evelyn, how's the analysis coming along?" Dr. Evelyn Carter, absorbed in her work, didn't look up. "We're almost there, Captain. The symbols are intricate, but I think I've identified a pattern." The crew braced as another volley of energy blasts struck the Invictus. The ship's shields held firm, but the strain was evident. "Countermeasures deployed," announced Harris. "We've disrupted their targeting systems temporarily." Liam nodded. "Good. Use this window to our advantage. Target their propulsion systems and disable as many ships as possible." The Invictus responded with precision, its weapons locking onto the alien vessels. Beams of concentrated energy lanced out, striking their targets with pinpoint accuracy. One by one, the enemy ships faltered, their engines flickering as they lost mobility. Amid the controlled chaos, Evelyn's voice broke through. "Captain, I've deciphered more of the message. They're issuing a warning and a claim. This sector is vital to them for reasons they haven't fully disclosed." Liam's mind raced. "So they're staking a claim. But why here? What makes this area so important?" Before he could ponder further, the communication system crackled again. This time, a voice emerged, speaking in broken, heavily accented English. "Human vessel, cease fire, request, negotiation." The bridge fell silent as everyone processed the unexpected transmission. "Patch them through," Liam ordered. "Let's see what they have to say." The screen shifted to show an alien face, its features both unfamiliar and oddly expressive. "This is Captain Liam Foster of the United Earth Federation ship Invictus. State your intentions." The alien hesitated, clearly struggling with the language. "We seek peace. Our world dying. Need new home." Liam's eyes narrowed. The revelation shifted the entire context of their encounter. "Why didn't you communicate this earlier? We might have avoided this conflict." "Fear, distrust," the alien replied. "You are strong. We had to test." The admission carried a weight of desperation. "Very well," Liam said, choosing his words carefully. "We will cease fire, but any hostile action will be met with full force." "Understood?" The alien nodded. "Understood. We will stand down." As the tension eased, Liam turned to his crew. "Maintain alert status, but hold fire. Dr. Carter, prepare a report on what we know about their situation. We need to understand their motives fully." Evelyn nodded, already diving back into her analysis. The bridge buzzed with subdued activity, as the immediate threat seemed to recede. Liam allowed himself a moment of reflection. The Xantha, as they called themselves, were not merely aggressors but a species driven by desperation. "Captain, if I may," said First Officer Cole, breaking Liam's reverie. What if this is a ploy? A way to gain our trust and strike when we're vulnerable? Liam considered this. We remain vigilant. Trust, but verify. They've shown their hand, now it's up to us to play ours wisely. The bridge settled into a tense calm, with crew members at their stations, ready for whatever came next. The strategic display still showed the alien fleet, but their formation had shifted, signaling a tentative truce. Evelyn, any insights into their technology? Why their energy readings are so high? Liam asked, steering the conversation back to the practical. They're using a form of energy conversion we haven't seen before, she explained. It's incredibly efficient, allowing them to sustain their systems at peak performance for extended periods. If we can understand it, we might find a way to enhance our own capabilities. Interesting, Liam mused. Focus on that. If we can integrate their technology, it could give us a significant edge. As the crew continued their tasks, Liam reviewed the strategic situation. The Invictus had demonstrated its resilience, but the true test lay ahead. Negotiating with the Xanda required not just strength, but diplomacy and wisdom. Captain, Harris interrupted. Incoming transmission from the Xanda flagship. They request a face-to-face meeting. Liam straightened. Prepare a secure channel. I'll handle this personally. The screen shifted again to show the alien captain, their expression cautious yet hopeful. Captain Foster, we appreciate your understanding. Liam met the alien's gaze. We will meet, but understand this, any betrayal will be met with swift retribution. We are willing to find a peaceful solution, but we will not be deceived. The alien nodded. Agreed. We seek a new beginning. The Invictus cruised steadily through space, maintaining a cautious distance from the alien fleet. On the bridge, Captain Liam Foster contemplated the upcoming negotiations. His thoughts were interrupted by the sound of Dr. Evelyn Carter approaching. Evelyn, do you have a full analysis of the Xanda technology yet? Liam asked, not taking his eyes off the main display. Evelyn handed him a tablet. I've identified their energy source. It's a highly efficient form of plasma conversion, unlike anything we've seen. They've optimized it to sustain long-term space travel and high-energy weapons. Liam nodded, his respect for their adversaries growing. Impressive. We might be able to learn a lot from them if we manage to secure an agreement. Lieutenant Harris chimed in from his station. Captain, the Xanda flagship is hailing us. They're ready for the face-to-face meeting. Very well. Prepare the shuttle, Liam ordered. Turning to Evelyn, he added, You're coming with me. Your expertise might be crucial in these discussions. Minutes later, Liam and Evelyn boarded the shuttle, accompanied by a small security detail. As they approached the Xanda flagship, Liam couldn't help but admire its sleek design and advanced technology. The docking process was smooth, and they were soon escorted to a grand chamber where the Xanda leaders awaited. The chamber was filled with a soft, otherworldly glow, and the air was thick with anticipation. The Xanda leader, an imposing figure with intricate patterns adorning their skin, stepped forward. Captain Foster, Dr. Carter, the leader began, their voice resonant and clear despite the alien accent. I am Track. We appreciate your willingness to negotiate. Liam inclined his head respectfully. Thank you, Track. We understand that your people are in dire need. Let's discuss how we can reach a mutually beneficial agreement. Track nodded. Our planet is dying. Our resources are nearly depleted. We seek a new home and wish to coexist peacefully. However, we will defend ourselves if threatened. Evelyn interjected. Your technology is impressive. We could benefit from an exchange of knowledge. Perhaps we can help each other more than you realize. Track's eyes glittered with interest. An exchange of knowledge would be beneficial. We have much to offer, and we have much to learn about human resilience and ingenuity. As the negotiations progressed, Liam found himself increasingly intrigued by the Xanda. They were a proud people, facing extinction with dignity and resolve. The discussions were intense but productive, and a tentative agreement began to take shape. Just as the talks seemed to be reaching a positive conclusion, alarms blared throughout the Xanda ship. Track's expression darkened. We are under attack. Another faction of our people, the Regal, do not agree with our peaceful intentions. They believe in taking by force. Liam exchanged a glance with Evelyn. We need to return to the Invictus immediately. We can help defend your ship. Track nodded. Your assistance would be greatly appreciated. Our combined forces might repel the Regal. Liam and Evelyn hurried back to the shuttle, their minds racing with the implications of this new development. As they boarded the Invictus, Liam issued rapid-fire commands to his crew. Harris, get us into defensive position. Prepare all weapons systems. We're going to assist the Xantha in repelling this rogue faction. The Invictus moved into formation alongside the Xantha flagship. The Regal ships were already launching their assault, and the space around them lit up with the exchange of fire. The Invictus's advanced targeting systems quickly locked onto the attacking vessels, and powerful energy blasts streaked through the void, striking the Regal ships with devastating precision. Evelyn monitored the battle from her station, analyzing the Regal tactics. Captain, they're focusing their attacks on the Xantha flagship's propulsion systems. They're trying to disable their escape routes. Liam's mind raced. Divert our fire to cover their engines. We need to keep them mobile. The crew executed his orders with flawless coordination. The Invictus's firepower provided the crucial support needed to keep the Xantha flagship in the fight. Slowly but surely, the tide of the battle began to turn. On the Xantha ship, Track's voice came through the comms. Captain Foster, your assistance has been invaluable. We are pushing back the Regal. They are retreating. Liam allowed himself a moment of relief. Glad to hear it, Track. Let's ensure they don't come back. The Invictus and the Xantha flagship pursued the retreating Regal, driving them out of the sector. The combined might of their ships proved too much for the rogue faction, which fled into deep space. As the immediate threat dissipated, Liam turned to his crew. Stand down from battle stations, but remain alert. This isn't over yet. Back on the Xantha flagship, Track expressed their gratitude once more. Captain Foster, Dr. Carter, your help has saved many lives today. Our agreement stands. We will share our technology and knowledge with you. Together, we will find a way to coexist. Liam nodded. We look forward to it, Track. This is the beginning of a new chapter for both our peoples. The Invictus remained vigilant, patrolling the border of the newly established neutral zone. Captain Liam Foster stood on the bridge, reflecting on the fragile peace they had brokered with the Xantha. The negotiations had been challenging, but the prospect of collaboration had given both species a glimmer of optimism. Dr. Evelyn Carter approached Liam with a determined expression. Captain, I've made significant progress in understanding their plasma conversion technology. If we can integrate it with our systems, it could revolutionize our energy management. Liam nodded, appreciating her dedication. That's excellent news, Evelyn. Begin the integration process, but ensure all safety protocols are followed. We can't afford any mistakes. Their conversation was interrupted by Lieutenant Harris's urgent voice. Captain, we're detecting unusual readings from the Xantha flagship. It looks like a power surge. Liam's brow furrowed. Open a channel to Track. Let's find out what's happening. The screen displayed Track, the Xantha leader, his face strained with concern. Captain Foster, we are experiencing a severe malfunction. Our main reactor is unstable, and we need assistance. Without hesitation, Liam responded. We're on our way. Hold tight, Track. Turning to his crew, Liam issued rapid commands. Prepare a team for emergency deployment. Evelyn, you're with me. Harris, maintain defensive posture and monitor for any signs of the Regal. The shuttle sped toward the Xantha flagship, tension palpable as they docked. Inside, the corridors were filled with frantic activity. Track greeted them, his worry evident. Our reactor core is overheating. If it breaches, the explosion will be catastrophic. Evelyn immediately began scanning the reactor systems. The plasma flow is unstable. We need to recalibrate the containment fields and vent the excess energy. Liam directed his team with precision. Set up a temporary containment field. Evelyn, guide the Xantha engineers through the recalibration process. As the minutes ticked by, the temperature in the reactor room continued to rise. Sweat dripped from the faces of both human and Xantha engineers as they worked side by side, their combined efforts reflecting a growing bond of trust and cooperation. "We're almost there," Evelyn called out, her voice steady despite the urgency. "Just a few more adjustments." Suddenly, the reactor emitted a high-pitched whine, and the containment field began to falter. Liam knew they had to act quickly. "Divert all auxiliary power to the containment field. It has to hold." The combined energy from the Invictus and the Xantha flagship surged into the field, stabilizing it momentarily. Evelyn's hands flew over the controls, making the final adjustments. With a loud hum, the reactor's core began to stabilize, the temperature slowly decreasing. "It's working," Evelyn said, relief washing over her. "The reactor is stabilizing." Track's gratitude was palpable as he addressed Liam and Evelyn. "You have saved us once again. We are in your debt." Liam shook his head. "We're allies now, Track. We help each other. Let's ensure this doesn't happen again." Back on the Invictus, the crew breathed a collective sigh of relief. The successful cooperation had not only averted disaster but had also strengthened the bond between the two species. Liam gathered his senior officers in the briefing room. "Today showed us the potential of what we can achieve together. We need to build on this foundation and work towards a more stable future." Evelyn presented her findings. "With the data we gathered, we can improve our own systems and share our advancements with the Xantha. This could mark the beginning of a new era of technological exchange." Harris, ever vigilant, voiced a concern. "Captain, we must remain cautious. The Regal are still out there, and they won't be pleased with our alliance." Liam nodded. "You're right. We must stay prepared for any threats. But for now, we focus on solidifying our partnership with the Xantha." As the Invictus resumed its patrol, the crew felt a renewed sense of purpose. The alliance with the Xantha had not only prevented a catastrophe but had also opened the door to unprecedented possibilities. Liam stood by the viewport, gazing at the Xantha flagship in the distance. The collaboration had shown him that even in the vast expanse of space, unity and cooperation could bridge the deepest divides. The future held uncertainties, but with allies like the Xantha, humanity was better prepared to face whatever lay ahead. Dr. Carter joined him, her eyes reflecting the same resolve. "We've come a long way, Captain. There's still much to do, but I believe we're on the right path." Liam smiled, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. "Yes, Evelyn, we are. And we'll face whatever comes next together." As the Invictus sailed on through the stars, it carried with it the hope of a brighter future, forged through unity and shared purpose.